All right, day 225, Coffee with Kenny. I'm Kenny Keller, the creator of Helicopter Land Ground School. Love all your questions, and we have a lot of questions coming in daily about, can I use your ground school instead of using the ground school at the flight school? And we're getting a lot of questions, 61 versus part 141. So I'm going to kind of group all these together and try to break it down. We're going to put 61 over here on this side, and we'll put 141 over here on this side, okay? So you can use our ground school regardless. Whether you're doing 61 or part 141, you can use our ground school. Here's the thing. A part 61 operates just within the regulations of the FAA, meaning you have to follow the regs, but they're not following the flight school or making the flight school adhere to anything other than the normal regulations that every pilot and instructor has to adhere to. Then over here on part 141, a part 41 school has a course of training that's laid out that they have to follow with you for ground in flight. So if you're doing part 141, you have to do their ground school regardless. Can you still use our ground school to supplement that training? Yes, you can. And they'll probably tell you, well, we don't recognize Helicopter Land Ground School, and that's fine. You have to go through their ground school. They're going to make you do it because they have to follow their syllabus. So the difference is, part 61 is more, if you say more loosely regulated, the instructors at the part 61 school can just go through a course of training that fits your needs. You can go at your own pace. You can do majority of studying on your own. I'll put a link up above for Johan that did it. Did all the ground school, and then showed up his flight school and did his rating in 3 weeks. I'll put that link above and down below too. It's a great video. Johan's a great dude, and he did it. So the other big thing, and we get these questions all the time, and it's about foreign students. If you want to come to the U.S. to train, over here, part 141, that's who you're going to need to contact, because a part 141 school can help you with all the documentation, help you with the visa, and go through all the things that have to happen for you to come over here to train. That's just the way it is. A part 61 school can't do that for you. It's not because they don't want to. It's because they don't, because they're not part 141. This is just the way it's set up by the FAA. Okay, so part 61 school can do certain things. Part 141 can do more. And the other big one is for military benefits. If you're wanting to use military benefits, GI Bill, whatever the case is, that has to be used through a part 141 flight school. Again, because they work more closely with the FAA. They're following a specific course of training. So there's kind of the nuts and bolts of the 61 part 141. And I just had a gentleman asking me some questions, and Heather was asking or answering some questions for him, and then he asked me some, and he's like, well, which is going to be cheaper? And I said, you know, I just did the video the other day that going the cheapest route's not the best route necessarily. You got to look at the quality of instruction and the quality of the flight school and the quality of the aircraft. And after thinking about it, a part 61 could in essence be cheaper. Maybe. Part 141 may be cheaper because the part 41 is going through and holding you to the standard and going through step by step. So it could be cheaper over here, but there again, what is the cost? If the particular 141 flight school, if their charges are fairly high for their instructors and their aircraft, it might be more expensive than going to part 61, where you can get some more hours under your belt and not pay a larger sum. So there isn't an end-all one answer for this, for pretty much this question, you know, well, what's going to be cheaper, part 141 or part 61? It's still going to depend on the cost of the aircraft, the cost of the instructor. And any one individual, you know, if you have exceptional studying skills, or you, not even exceptional, let me say, how bad do you want it? How hard do you want to work at it? In essence, you could do like Johan, and you could study on your own and know the information and go to a part 141 flight school. And if it goes well, you could get done in the same amount of time, almost basically as a 141 school. On the flip side, how much, you know, if you're needing somebody to really walk you through it and you want the one on ground sitting there with an instructor, they can do that at a part 61. But more than likely, a lot of 61 schools just go, well, you know, we want to see the blade spinning, and, oh, do the ground on your own. Okay, great. We don't care. Go for it. Just the instructor has to check your knowledge before you take your check ride and make sure your knowledge is good. So he has to do a little bit of ground with you, at least to make sure that you have all the information covered in the PTS, which will soon be the ACS. The instructor still has to evaluate your knowledge. He has to make sure that you've studied on your own and that you know the information. Part 141, they're gonna know it because they have to go through and do the ground school with you. I hope that helps. So there again, can you use our ground school? Yes, you can, regardless of what your flight school says. If you want to use our ground school, you can use it as a supplemental training. We have people on both sides of the scale. We have people that are unhappy with their flight school and they're not getting ground. We have people that are at a 141 school and they're happy with their 141 school and they're happy with their ground that they're getting that's required. And they still use Helicopter Lane Ground School just to supplement their training, because you can use it anytime from any device at home, from the laptop, the desktop, your iPad, whatever electronic device you want to use, you can use it. So people use it as a supplemental training. So I hope that helps. And I know we've been touching on a lot of these different sections, and I'm kind of throwing it all into one video, but because we're getting so many questions, and that's great. Keep the questions coming. We love them. Day 225. Any other questions? If that doesn't make sense, put them down below and we'll make another video. We'll keep answering these questions until we got it, right? Until we got it covered. That's the essence. That's the essence of the difference of Part 61 to Part 141. If you have any feedback for us, you want to chime in on the subject, ask some more questions, put them down below. Subscribe to the channel. And when you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell so you'll be notified of our daily video. We do a training video every single day. Today was day 225. And down below there's a link. It's called helicopterground.com. And I'll put a link up here too. You can go there and check out our training. Another common question, well, what's in your training? You can take a 24-hour test flight. I could sit here and tell you for the next 20 minutes about the 120 videos that are in there. Or you can go take a 24-hour test flight. It costs you nothing on the monthly membership for private, commercial, CFI, or instrument. You can go in and see the whole training course, not just a sample. You can view the entire course for 24 hours, make an informed decision whether you want to keep it or if it's not something you're looking for. If you keep it, no big deal. It'll start billing after 24 hours. It'll bill you monthly. You can cancel that any single time. You can self-cancel, or we can do it for you. If you're not ready to proceed on with Helicopter Lane Ground School, you simply remove your credit card from settings within the HOG site. Or if you sign up with PayPal, you simply go into PayPal and end your subscription inside of PayPal. And if you have trouble figuring that out, you just email us and we'll do it for you. All right. Day 225, looking for day 226. Keep the feedback coming. We love it. Give us a thumbs up on the video. If you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. Click that thumbs down twice. We'll see you in day 226.